Welcome to Express Tribune Headlines. The Supreme Court of Pakistan has initiated suo motu proceedings regarding Senator Faisal Wavra's call for Islamabad High Court Judge Babar Sattar to provide evidence of alleged interference in judicial matters. A three-judge bench led by Chief Justice Qazi Faiz Isa will address the issue. The move follows Wavra's contentious press conference and subsequent demands amid rising tensions over claims of intelligence meddling in judicial affairs. The court's action also aligns with IHC's clarification that dual citizenship does not disqualify a lawyer from becoming a judge, countering Wavra's inquiries about Sattar's qualifications. After being summoned by the Supreme Court over his criticisms of Islamabad High Court judges, Senator Faisal Wavra defended his remarks, asserting his refusal to retract his statements about judicial interference. During a television interview, Wavra maintained his critique of alleged meddling by intelligence agencies in judicial matters, despite not naming specific judges in his initial press conference. He emphasized standing firm on his honor, warned of sharp retorts to any slander, and expressed gratitude towards Chief Justice Qazi Faiz Isa for the fair hearing scheduled by a three-member bench on May 17th. Wavra's comments come amidst previous controversies involving claims of no action against derogatory remarks by others in his former party PTI. Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari has ruled out the imposition of governor's rule in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, following a recent exchange of barbs between Governor Faisal Karim Kundi and Chief Minister Ali Amin Kandapur. The president met with Governor Kundi and instructed him to work in the people's interest. The president also called on Governor Kundi to avoid making political statements, citing the dignity of his office. This comes as Chief Minister Gandapur threatened to occupy PESCO offices in protest against unannounced load shedding. A source close to the president revealed that he had ruled out the possibility of imposing governor's rule in KP, citing the need for restraint amid provocative statements by the chief minister. During ongoing negotiations for a new loan program, the IMF has urged Pakistan to enhance its poverty alleviation efforts. The discussions, now in their fourth day, have seen the IMF call for expanded coverage and improved efficiency in programs like the Benazir Income Support Program. Pakistani officials responded by outlining current and future commitments, including spending Rs 472 billion on BISP this year, protecting beneficiaries from electricity tariff hikes, and aiming to cover 20 million households with a fully functional registry by September. They reported significant increases in enrollments in various social security programs, promising further funding in the next financial year. Federal Minister for Planning, Development and Reforms Ehsan Iqbal projected that by 2047, Pakistan could rank among the top 10 global economies, emphasizing the need to overcome negativity to achieve this goal. Speaking at the Sustainable Development Goals Conference, Iqbal highlighted the critical role of SDG implementation in national development, aligning Pakistan's budget with these goals. He noted Pakistan's vulnerability to climate change, stressing the importance of sustainable resource management. Iqbal called on parliamentarians, the private sector, and the media to actively support and promote the SDGs, underlining their integration into Pakistan's 2025 agenda. Both Treasury and opposition members of the National Assembly have slammed the government over the arrest of a large number of farmers' leaders. Several PTI SIC MNAs condemned the government actions, calling for a reconciliatory approach. Those regretting the intensifying government action against the protesting farmers also included lawmakers belonging to the PPP and the IPP, which are allied to the ruling PMLN. The House also witnessed chaotic scenes after a speech by PMLQ MNA Tariq Bashir Cheema for allegedly threatening and using abusive language against PTI lawmaker Zartaj Gul. The proceedings were adjourned till Friday morning after PPP MNA Shella Raza, who was presiding over the proceedings, found herself helpless in controlling the situation and feared an imminent physical clash. The altercation started when Mr. Cheema went to the opposition benches to exchange words with PTI MNA Ali Muhammad Khan, and Ms. Gul passed a remark which made Mr. Cheema angry. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has ordered an inquiry into the recent technical fault that caused the suspension of power generation at the Neelam Jhelum hydropower project. The project was shut down on May 3rd after a major operational issue was detected. It followed the detection of a major operational issue a month prior, which resulted in significant pressure fluctuations in the project's head race tunnel. The Prime Minister directed officials to expedite the investigation and determine the root causes of the issue. He also directed Wavra and the NJHP company to complete the repair work of the tunnel at the earliest and resume generation. The Neelam Jhelum hydropower project had previously also faced challenges, including a closure in July 2022 due to major cracks discovered in its tailways tunnel. The United States anchored a temporary floating pier to a beach in Gaza on Thursday to boost aid deliveries. US President Joe Biden announced the plan for the pier in March as aid officials implored Israel to improve access for relief supplies into Gaza over land routes. By opening a route to deliver aid by sea, the US hopes to combat the humanitarian crisis that has put hundreds of thousands of people at the risk of famine. United Nations stressed that delivering aid by land was the most viable, effective, and efficient method. The United States State Department said the humanitarian situation in Gaza continued to deteriorate and urged Israel to allow sustained access for aid via the southern and northern parts of the enclave. Chinese President Xi Jinping met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Beijing for a detailed discussion on strategic issues, emphasizing the need for solidarity and cooperation amid global turbulence. During the meeting at Zhongnanhai, Xi highlighted China's resolve under the Communist Party's leadership to face global changes and pursue high-quality development. He expressed China's commitment to promoting global governance, fairness, and world peace. Putin acknowledged China's unstoppable growth and expressed Russia's desire to enhance cooperation with China and the global south for a more multipolar world. Following this, Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in Harbin on Friday on the second leg of his two-day state visit to China. Chicago police cleared a pro-Palestinian encampment at DePaul University after it had been established for nearly 3 weeks. The operation, involving officers in riot gear, prompted significant unrest among students and activists. Parveen Mundi, the university's student body president, described a chaotic scene where police physically disrupted the site, including an incident where her tent was flipped while she searched for her phone. Following the clearance, students and protesters regrouped across the street, leading to confrontations with police and the temporary detention of 2 students. Israel's finance minister Bezalel Smotrich has announced plans to abolish the country's free trade government with Turkey and impose a 100% tariff on other imports from the country. This move comes in retaliation for Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's decision to halt exports to Israel. Turkey had stopped exports to Israel earlier this month, citing Israel's ongoing onslaught in the Palestinian territories. However, the Turkish Trade Ministry has said that companies have 3 months to fulfill existing orders via third countries. The Israeli government plans to submit the proposal to the cabinet for approval. EU regulators announced an investigation into Meta platforms Facebook and Instagram for potential breaches of the Digital Services Act, specifically concerning child safety. This follows Meta's submitted risk assessment in September, which the European Commission found insufficient in addressing risks such as behavioral addictions and the rabbit hole effects caused by their algorithms. The Commission also raised concerns about the effectiveness of Meta's age verification methods, which could allow children access to inappropriate content. Jennifer Lopez has responded to divorce rumors with husband Ben Affleck by focusing on her work, specifically her upcoming movie Atlas. In a recent Instagram video, she discussed the movie's themes of love, friendship, and self-belief, all while conspicuously displaying her wedding rings. Meanwhile, tabloid reports suggest a potential split, citing Affleck's absence from their shared home and Lopez house hunting alone. However, Affleck's current involvement in filming a sequel to The Accountant could explain their recent public appearances without each other. Reddit has partnered with OpenAI to bring its content to the popular chatbot ChatGPT. The deal will allow ChatGPT and other OpenAI products to use Reddit's application programming interface to access its content. As part of the partnership, OpenAI will also become a Reddit advertising partner. This move is seen as a way for Reddit to diversify beyond its advertising business and follows its recent partnership with Alphabet to make its content available for training Google's AI models. OpenAI COO Brad Lightcap expressed excitement about enhancing ChatGPT with real-time information, while OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, who holds a significant stake in Reddit, has underscored the strategic nature of the collaboration.